Want to speak real Dutch from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at DutchPod101.com.
Most people who learn a foreign language learn it so that they can one day have real-life conversations with native speakers. When you start out learning and crack open your first textbook or listen to your first podcast, having a real conversation can feel like a fantasy. When everything about a language feels new, it can be overwhelming. But this couldn't be further from the truth. While it does take a significant amount of time and effort to become fluent, having a conversation might not be as far off as you think. In this video, we'll look at 3 ways you can boost your conversational skills and start talking to native speakers. Number 1, find native speakers and practice with them. It's unlikely you live near a big group of native speakers to practice with. If you happen to be in a major or international city, your chances may be better. Check and see if your city has a general language exchange. Chances are there could be a native speaker there who is also trying to learn another language. Practicing in person with a native speaker is probably the most interesting option for honing your speaking skills. But if you can't find anyone where you live, the next best option is to look online. Luckily for language learners, the past 10 years or so have seen an explosion in online language exchange sites. On these websites, you can search for someone who is a native speaker of your target language and is also learning your native language. The idea behind a language exchange is that you communicate with them via video or text chat, and half of the time, they help you practice your target language. And for the other half, you help them practice theirs. Practicing via an online language exchange is a highly effective way to practice your conversational skills. Number 2, work on pronunciation. Pronunciation is often an overlooked skill when it comes to learning a foreign language. Most people think of a good foreign accent as a luxury rather than a necessity. But what most people don't talk about is how having a good accent boosts your listening and comprehension skills. If you can hear a sound from a foreign language and know how to make it yourself, then you're more likely to understand native speakers when they talk at normal speed, and you're also more likely to remember any new words or phrases you come across. Having a good accent means that the language no longer sounds foreign. Instead, it sounds familiar, maybe even natural. So how do you go about perfecting your accent? The best way is to break down the language into its individual sounds. Make note of any sounds that are the same or similar to your native language and of those that are different. Of the sounds that are different, spend your time practicing the ones that you find the hardest to say correctly. After you're comfortable with the individual sounds, you can start linking together words and phrases. This is where accent practice starts to get really fun and interesting. Get your hands on some native speaker audio from a TV show, song, or podcast. Play the audio back and listen closely a few times. Take note of how words blend together in speech. Then, do your best to imitate what you hear, trying to match the speaker's emphasis and intonation. Our language learning program's playback feature is perfect for this. Record yourself and compare it to the original recording. Rinse and repeat until you're comfortable with the audio selection, and then move on to something more difficult. This is how you can break through the accent barrier and really start to make the language your own. Number 3, learn phrases, not just individual words. Learning grammar and individual words is great, but it's not the only approach you should take if you want to speak fluently. In addition to your regular grammar and vocabulary, try learning whole phrases, even if you aren't totally sure how they work grammatically. Learn phrases that are specific to your needs. It's a good idea to learn phrases that are grouped around a certain setting or subject, such as simple greetings or introductions, questions for getting to know someone, or traveling comfortably. You can even learn filler phrases, which you can use so that you have something to say when, well, you don't know what to say. Learning phrases like this will help you become conversational faster. You may not understand what you're saying literally, but as long as you know the general meaning behind the phrase and know when to use it, you'll be able to talk like a native. Eventually, your knowledge of grammar and vocabulary should catch up with the phrases you know. Learning a new language should feel like an adventure. There will be plateaus and periods in your learning where it feels like you're hitting a wall, but being able to speak with native speakers and have real conversations will help you combat language fatigue. After all, talking to someone face-to-face in a foreign language is one of the main reasons we start learning in the first place. And for even more ways to gain conversation skills, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Want to speak real Dutch from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at DutchPod101.com.
Well, you want to become fluent fast, right? Here are the top 5 shortcuts to learning a language. Number 1. Create a study schedule and set some goals. Many language learners are unorganized. Creating a schedule allows you to free up time to study consistently. Goals give you motivation and something to strive for. Number 2. Make it fun. If you learn how to make your study time enjoyable, chances are you'll be more inclined to study. Watch a TV show with subtitles or listen to some music. Number 3. Find a language partner. This is the best way to improve your conversation skills. It will help you gain fluency even faster and increase confidence when speaking. Number 4. Use word lists to build up a solid vocabulary. This is a great way to build up your fluency, one word at a time. Luckily, we have all the word lists you need, with a range of topics, from food to love. Choose whichever language you want to study and go. Number 5. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Nothing helps you improve more than correcting your own errors. You're more likely to remember it correctly the next time around. Everyone makes mistakes. Don't be afraid to learn from them. There's no magical way to learn a new language overnight, but doing all of these can really help your learning process.
Een man en een vrouw zijn aan het praten. Naar welke klok kijken ze en hoe laat is het?
Weet je hoe laat het is?
Het spijt me. Ik ben vandaag mijn horloge vergeten.
Oké. Ik maak me zorgen of we de trein wel kunnen halen.
Oh, bij de ingang van het station is een klok.
Mooi. Oh nee, de trein komt over 5 minuten.
Dat is de trein van 10 uur, niet?
Ja, we kunnen maar beter opschieten.
Naar welke klok kijken ze en hoe laat is het? Een man en een vrouw zijn aan het praten. Naar welke klok kijken ze en hoe laat is het?
Weet je hoe laat het is?
Het spijt me. Ik ben vandaag mijn horloge vergeten.
Oké. Ik maak me zorgen of we de trein wel kunnen halen.
Oh, bij de ingang van het station is een klok.
Mooi. Oh nee, de trein komt over 5 minuten.
Dat is de trein van 10 uur, niet?
Ja, we kunnen maar beter opschieten.
Een man haalt de dochter op van een vriendin. Wie is haar dochter? Sorry dat ik je lastig val, maar kun je misschien mijn dochter ophalen?
Natuurlijk. Weet ze wie ik ben?
Ja, ze heeft je wel eens op foto's gezien, dus ze moet in staat zijn om je te herkennen.
Oké. Hoe ziet ze eruit?
Ze heeft zwart, krullend haar. Ze is slanker en langer dan gemiddeld.
Oké. Nog iets anders?
Ze zei dat ze de hoed zou dragen die ze eerder van me heeft gehad. Die is wit met een zwarte lint.
Die lijkt me geen probleem om te vinden. In orde. Ik ga haar nu ophalen.
Dank je. Wie is haar dochter? Een man haalt de dochter op van een vriendin. Wie is haar dochter? Sorry dat ik je lastig val, maar kun je misschien mijn dochter ophalen?
Natuurlijk. Weet ze wie ik ben?
Ja, ze heeft je wel eens op foto's gezien, dus ze moet in staat zijn om je te herkennen.
Oké, hoe ziet ze eruit?
Ze heeft zwart, krullend haar. Ze is slanker en langer dan gemiddeld.
Oké, nog iets anders?
Ze zei dat ze de hoed zou dragen die ze eerder van me heeft gehad. Die is wit met een zwarte lint.
Die lijkt me geen probleem om te vinden. In orde, ik ga haar nu ophalen.
Dank je.
Want to speak real Dutch from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at DutchPod101.com.
To master a new language and understand everything as soon as you hear it, to read with just a quick glance and speak smoothly without thinking, you need to review. Here are our top 5 review tactics. Number 1, listen to examples over and over again. By listening closely and often, you start to pick up the rhythm of a language, as well as correct pronunciation from a native speaker. Use our line-by-line feature that lets you both listen and read along. Use this tool to practice as much as possible. Number 2, use our voice recording tool to master perfect pronunciation. Record yourself and compare it against the native speaker. If you sound different, then repeat after the native speaker until you're able to match them. Use our voice recording feature, which makes recording super easy. Number 3, master your recorded conversations. Record conversations and go over them again and again. Master entire conversations and repeat them line by line. Use any of the dialogues available for download on our website. These come with transcripts of the entire conversation. Number 4, use mobile devices to reinforce previously learned conversations. Constant review is the best way to progress in your language studies. Download the recorded dialogue to your mobile device and incorporate it into your music playlist. Quick reviews throughout the day effectively reinforce what you've learned. Number 5, read with line-by-line notes. Read along with a native speaker to really master pronunciation and natural intonation. You should start slow at first, then slowly increase your speed. Your pronunciation will become more natural. You will also see that your ability to understand fluent speakers will greatly increase. You'll be able to improve your communication skills using these 5 simple review techniques.
Een man en een vrouw zijn aan het praten. Wat gaan ze als eerste doen?
Wat wil je vandaag doen?
Ik wil graag naar de film.
Oké, ik wil naar een honkbalwedstrijd op tv kijken.
En ik wil ook nog winkelen.
De honkbalwedstrijd begint om 1 uur vanmiddag.
Oké, laten we dan eerst naar de film gaan en dan kun je daarna de honkbalwedstrijd kijken.
Prima, dan doen we het winkelen vanavond.
Wat gaan ze als eerste doen? Een man en een vrouw zijn aan het praten. Wat gaan ze als eerste doen?
Wat wil je vandaag doen?
Ik wil graag naar de film.
Oké, ik wil naar een honkbalwedstrijd op tv kijken.
En ik wil ook nog winkelen.
De honkbalwedstrijd begint om 1 uur vanmiddag.
Oké, laten we dan eerst naar de film gaan en dan kun je daarna de honkbalwedstrijd kijken.
Prima, dan doen we het winkelen vanavond.
Ik heb zin in koffie met iets lekkers.
Hebben ze hier lekkere koffie?
Ja, de koffie is erg goed.
Oké, ik neem ook koffie. Hebben Bert en jij kinderen?
Wij hebben 2 kinderen. En jij? Heb jij kinderen?
Ja, wij hebben ook 2 kinderen.
Je hebt een druk leven.
Jan heeft een druk leven. Ik heb een goed leven.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.